So I did physical geography at Durham for my undergrad beforehand. Durham had the risk masters, and as I want to go into emergency planning, it just seemed like the perfect course for me. I'd really recommend it. Whether you do the MA or the MSc, there's so many different pathways you can choose. It's a really good course because you get a very broad understanding of risk in all different dimensions. So there's one module, Risk Frontiers, which is really cool because they bring in experts in so many different risk fields who talk about their current work. And we had talks from people in cybersecurity and terrorism, flooding, community resilience, COVID and pandemic planning, insurance. Like there's so many topics that can be covered. So you have like a good breadth of knowledge. And there's like a module which is understanding risk as well. So you sort of apply all of these different models and the basis of risk to so many different situations, and you really understand how this knowledge comes to play in so many different spheres of life. I also chose the climate risk module, which I thoroughly enjoyed because you can focus in parts of the world that you're passionate about. You then learn a lot from each other as well, because it's not everyone doing the exact same thing. You almost become a mini expert in what you like doing, and no one else on the course quite knew that, and you're like, oh, I've learned something new. People bring so many different ideas and so many case studies that otherwise you just never have heard of. With this Risk Masters, you have the option to a research dissertation or a vocational dissertation. I chose to do a vocational dissertation because I really like the idea that the research I did would be beneficial to someone. It could be used in the real world. It wouldn't just be something that I would be passionate about, but it would actually have some use for someone. And the department are really good at helping to reach out to different partners, and if things fall through, they will help you find something different. Like you can also go out and find your own, but there is like the support there, and they have a list of contacts in so many different spheres to try and get a project to come about. I'm doing mine with the Durham and Darlington Fire Service at the moment, helping to audit one of their arson prevention schemes and work on community resilience to that issue. So I'm really excited for that because it will have a real impact, well, I hope, on the community, and it's some information that they don't already have and it can help them out. So I'm really excited for that. But I know some friends are doing ones with like flood risk modelling for different places, or working on like avalanche schemes as well. There's also some where they're more sort of insurance based or more the human side of things as well. So there's just such a broad range of the different vocational partners that you can have and the projects you can do. And I think it's really great like consulting experience as well if you wanted to go into consulting. So the balance on the course, there's a lot of lectures that obviously this time were recorded, but then every week you'd have a tutorial or a tutorial seminar, some sort of like live group thing for each module. So you're never too overloaded. So you have plenty of time for your lectures, your reading, and then your tutorials, and it's quite a good balance. Obviously this year was a bit strange with COVID, but usually in Durham there's so many different societies and sports that you can join and different activities. And you have every Wednesday off to do sport at whatever level you want to do, or to do music, or to do art, or so that's quite nice to have like the midweek break where it's just you time. And even though sport didn't exist this year, we still had Wednesday afternoons off, which was quite nice. And a big draw to Durham is the college system. So you'll be put into a college, and it's really great because you get to meet people in your college, in your course, and then also in all of your different societies and activities that you do. And with the workload, as long as you like keep up during the week, you have plenty of time to try different things as well. So currently I play rugby and polo, and I paint all the decorations for balls, and I have enough time to do that and do my degree, and it's like a really good like work-life balance already before we've even done anything else. Durham is one of the most beautiful cities you'll ever be. There's like a Durham bubble, people say, because it's so small, it's quite insular. You get to know people, and you'll recognise people just from like the library, and then you'll get to know people if you always go somewhere for lunch. But it's sort of beautiful in that way, because whilst there is a Durham bubble, you never really want to leave it. I mean, I don't at the end of this year. Like just walking around, seeing the cathedral and the castle, the river, you can pretty much walk everywhere you need to be. You barely need to use a bus. You can escape to Newcastle if you wanted something a bit more lively, but there's plenty of stuff going on in the city. It's sort of just a really lovely, safe place to be.